What is going on, guys? RC Matt here. I just wanted to share with you that I've gotten a lot of questions about my Scx10. One question, for example, Matt, how come you haven't lifted your Scx10? Well, there's a good reason for that. Because in Scx10, the battery and all the ESCs, the ESC, the motor, the steering, the bumpers, they all sit on the chassis. And what happens is if you lift the chassis, or if you get a lift for it and you lift it up, you're not only, all that weight from the motor, all that stuff is not only being made to put up higher, but the center of gravity gets higher, which means you'll be prone to more rollovers. Now, if you want to lift it, but don't want to spend the money on the lift kits, what you can do is get bigger, taller shocks. Now let me show you an example. I'm doing this as dry run, guys. Sorry about that. On my Scx10, I have the weight sitting stuck where it should be. Not only do I have it sitting stock, I keep my battery in the back. That's just my preference. Because my battery's in the back, I have a battery in the front for my winch. Now going back to the whole lifting and lowering stuff. Now once you lift your Scx10, all this center weight, all this right here, is getting raised up. And once that's raised up, you're prone to more rollovers. And that means you'd be top heavy. So if that answers your question, my advice would be don't lift your Scx10. Now, I have another question from another person that I met at the racetrack down in RCHQ in San Antonio off of Judson and Nacogdoches Drive. What kind of upgrades did you put on your Scx10? Well, I will tell you. First upgrade I recommend is going with the aluminum linkage. Now, when you do the aluminum linkage, what you want to do is, because most Scx10s stock come RTR, that are RTR, in other words known as ready to run, tend to have a 3-link instead of a 4-link. What I did is I put a 4-link on it. Now the 4-link will give you more articulation in the chassis, and it'll give you more articulate, not only more articulation, but a little bit better of a, I don't want to say, that's not fun. Anyways, it will give you better articulation in both sides, both axles. As of right now, I can lift my truck up that high. And that's good, because I'm not doing any super major giant rocks and stuff like that. Now, another question that came up to me is, Matt, how did you set up your drive lines? Well, I didn't. I got my drive lines stock because I bought it RTR. I didn't want to have to spend the time to buy it, to build it and stuff like that, because I was doing school and other stuff. But that was years ago. That was a year ago. I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts out in Boerne, Texas, and I'm currently working at O'Reilly Auto Parts these are the stock axles. If I can get the other axle piece real quick. Hang on 1 second. Now these, I don't know if you can see that, but these are the stock axles. And the stock axles are great up to a point. Now, what you want to do, as in an upgrade for drive lines, what you want to do is you want to go to get the RC 4-wheel drive Punisher shafts. And those are these. These are steel Punisher shafts. They work a world of wonders. Now another question came up. Matt, what kind of bumpers do you have on your rig? Well, I just have a random tube bumper for the rear that has a tire carrier. And on the front, I put a RC 4-wheel drive winch bumper with a 10 scale 2.5 pound Warren winch. Now, a lot of you ask, why would you need a winch? Well, it not only puts to scale realism, but it helps you recover other friends' trucks. Now back to the aluminum linkage upgrades. On the aluminum link upgrades, not only do you get the bottom all links, you get the steering link. And the steering link will help you if you bump into rocks or things like that. And when you bump into rocks, you're kind of screwed. Plus, the stock steering links that came on here were plastic. And the big link down here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see that, but the big link right down here at the bottom, right here, would bend and twist and all this other stuff. Now, you ask me, that's not a good thing to put on a crawler. Another question I had for an upgrade was, what kind of tires did you put on your truck? Well, let me tell you. I put the RC 4-wheel drive Super Swamper 1.9 tires on here. Yes, they are beadlocked, which means from stock rims, the stock rims are glued, or stock tires for an Scx10 are glued on there, and they have holes inside the rim. So you can, when you're going through deep water, not only do you get water in there, but you can get dirt, and then your foams mold or get soaking wet, and then they start to rot out, and then you're screwed. Because then you pretty much have to get new tires anyways. Now, if you're not planning on running in water, by all means, go ahead and run these stock tires. But I put these ones on here because I'm going to go through deep water. Now, another question was, Matt, how do you waterproof your differentials? And I will put a link in the description on how to do that. And you may very well know him. It's DJ Medic from RC Spark Studio. He will completely give you the guidelines on how to waterproof your differentials. Now, I used the exact same thing as he did, which was what we sell at the store, where I work at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Marine grease. You want the water resistant. Like I said, like he said, DJ Matty says, nothing is waterproof. It is water resistant. Keep that in mind. Nothing is waterproof when it comes to your RC rigs. Now, another upgrade I have would be a Scx servo, which is high torque metal gear servo that is waterproof. And yes, it is the greatest damn servo I've ever put on this rig. Another upgrade I have which you can't see, but it is inside the receiver box, is a Racer's Edge glitch buster. What that does is it keeps, most of you will know that when you're driving your rig and you have your steering wheel turned and you hear that kind of like grind, like glitching almost, that eliminates all that. Or when your truck's just sitting still and you hear that or whatever the hell it is, what that does is it eliminates that and keeps your tires from doing that. Not only that, but it helps you get better throw or response for your steering. Now me, I currently still have the stock shock set up on it on each side, and that's all I need. Now another question was, Matt, is that the stock body that came with the rig? Yes, it is the stock body. And on this stock body, I'm currently running a RC 4-wheel drive 3-row LED light bar on it. It's a very small light bar, but it works. And this light bar has done me a world of wonders. I've been able to see through at night. I used to have it on my other bumper. I used to have it sitting right in front of where this bumper was. But it worked up until I got a winch. Now, I have not upgraded this winch to a metal carbon fiber cable yet, but I will soon enough. And a lot of people think that using what a lot of people know as shoe glue for your wiring, I think it's great. It helps keep the wires out of the way, keeps it nice and neat, and tucked up underneath the body. But then again, the way you set up your rig, whatever works best for you is what works for you. Now, I'm not telling you to do exactly that, but whatever you feel comfortable with, by all means, go ahead and do it. If you want to lift it, go ahead and do that. If you don't want to get the stock, if you don't want to get the aluminum upgrade, by all means, don't do it. But these are just upgrade suggestions for your Scx10 that will help in the long run. Now, another question I've had was, Matt, is that an actual functioning CB radio? No, it is not. This is just a play radio, a play thing, or a play antenna, just for scale looks. What I did is I got where the antenna holder would be if your Scx10 came with a receiver that had an antenna. Took that off, drilled it out through here at the bottom, put a WD-40 spray can straw through the inside, glued it in, got a spring, stretched it out, wrapped it around, and heat shrinked the tubing. That's how I get the play in that. Now, I currently don't have the correct bolt for the spare tire, but it works. And another upgrade would be if you were to get a rear bumper for your Scx10, would be to go with the put on there would go with the Hong Kong D-rings, or toe shackles, I mean, and put that on there. That will help you out in the long run if you want to get pulled out of the mud or whatsoever. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and or subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out Chris31 Productions. And don't forget to like and to subscribe to his channel as well. Also, don't forget to check out RC Spark Studio and subscribe or like to his channel. Please leave a comment in the description down below. As always, this is RC Matt. Peace.